Every day, we are faced with the choice of how to act in a given situation. Drink tea or coffee in the morning, take the metro to work or walk, have dinner at home or with friends. Often, our choice determines not only how we spend the day, but the rest of our lives. It would seem that one insignificant choice carries with it a chain of events. The hero of our story today made his choice, but what consequences this choice led to and how it all ended, he could not predict in advance. He could not even imagine that just one minor decision would completely change his life. But let's start from the beginning. It happened in a remote taiga village. A family lived there, a husband and a wife and their little son. They had a big house, a small farm, and big plans for life. The husband dreamed that someday they would leave this village, move to a big city where their son could get a good education and a good job. The wife would work in some office, and the husband himself dreamed of being a firefighter or a rescuer. He was very cheerful and sympathetic. He always helped those who needed it, especially old women who lived alone. The man helped them with the housework, chopped wood, repaired fences, and never took money for it. He joked that he would earn so much money in the city that none of the locals could even dream of it, but for now they had enough of everything. But one day, everything changed dramatically. The village was celebrating the day the harvest began, and everyone gathered at the local club. There was supposed to be a concert. The wife and little son went to the club in the morning as they were involved in the performance, and the husband would come later, but for now he had to finish the work. If only he knew that he would never see his beloved wife and son again. While preparing for the concert, the wiring in the club shorted and a fire started. Everyone managed to get out of the burning building, except for one woman with a child. They were the wife and little son of our hero. Overnight, all plans and dreams collapsed, burned in the fire with his loved ones. From that moment on, he stopped dreaming, abandoned his house, became unsociable, and stopped communicating with his neighbors. Many were sincerely sorry for him, but no one could help his grief. The man hadn't bathed in months and didn't change his clothes, but he didn't care at all. He quit his job and over the years turned into a real hermit. Local residents were worried about him and offered him the vacant position of a forester. He quickly agreed since the forester's house was far away in the forest, so he would be spared from annoying people and their pitying looks. Having moved to the new house, the man quickly settled down and began to do his new job. A year later, as he was walking around the forest, he heard someone's heavy breathing in the bushes. Moving aside the branches, he saw an old wolf lying on the grass. The old wolf was licking fresh wounds, which he most likely got in a fight with a young wolf who had taken his place as leader of the pack. The man quickly loaded his gun and pointed it at the wolf, as wolves in those places are very fierce. They attack villages, exterminate livestock, so it was logical to shoot this wolf, which the man was about to do, but something stopped him. He looked the wolf straight in the eyes and saw deep sadness in them. As if in a mirror, the man saw his own reflection in this wolf. He, just like the man, suddenly lost everything: his family, his pack, his home, and now, all alone, he lay there with no reason to live. Then the man slowly lowered the gun. At that moment, the man made his choice. He chose life. Gently lifting the wounded wolf, he put it on his shoulders and went towards the village to show it to the veterinarian. The veterinarian in this village was an elderly man who had been saving local animals from various diseases for decades. But when our hero brought the wolf to the veterinary clinic, he was surprised to find that the old veterinarian had not been working for almost a year, and a young girl from the city came to take his place. Despite her young age, the girl very quickly and skillfully treated all the wounds on the body of the wolf, gave injections, and applied bandages. She told the man how to properly care for the sick wolf and promised to visit him occasionally. The next day, the girl came to the forester's house, brought some food for the man and medicine for the wolf. For the first time in a long time, the man felt a pleasant warmth from the very presence of this young girl in his house. By her next visit, he had shaved, washed, and finally changed his dirty clothes. Now he was unrecognizable. He seemed to have rejuvenated by several years. The girl could not help but notice these changes and smiled. Since then, she often came to the man and the wolf. They spent a lot of time together and soon began to date. A few months later, the man asked her to marry him, and the girl agreed without hesitation. She had her eye on this courageous man for a long time and knew his story, so she did not rush things but allowed him to make his own choice. So friends, once giving a second chance at life to an old wolf, a man saved his own life from sadness and loneliness. If you liked this story, don't forget to click like. See you soon!